Hi and welcome to my channel. This is Matt Garver. Today I'd like to show you what I am using for my grow test, and it's for seed starting. It is the Burpee 16 site XL site, and it's a wonderful product. As a matter of fact, this has been out for years, but a lot of people don't know about this yet. It is fantastic because what it does is it gives you 16 different grow sites that you can plant seeds in. You could actually plant 2 or 3 seeds per site if you wanted, and pick the best looking plant. You can clip off the other plants and allow whatever seedling that you've started to continue to grow to a size that you can move it to a different container. Now down at the bottom it has a reservoir, and that contains water. The water should be enough for about 2 weeks after the plants have germinated. And there's a capillary mat that goes across the bottom, and it dips into the water on both sides. And what that does is it wicks that water up out of that reservoir, and it goes right underneath the bottoms of these plants. Now each of those 16 plant sites has coco coir, and has a little hole in the bottom of each of the 16 sites, and it sits on top of that capillary mat. So what happens is, after these coco coir sites are initially hydrated, they will wick up the water out of that capillary mat, and they'll stay hydrated, and that will allow even plants that are aggressively growing, like a, let's say for example, a pumpkin plant, squash, cucumber, to be able to have enough water to be able to grow until you want to transplant it. And so I want to go ahead and open this product up and show you what's inside. Nothing terribly fancy. All I'm doing is just ripping off the outer plastic, removing the cardboard. The cardboard does have instructions on the back of it. Try to get that within sight a little bit better. In case you're curious, you don't have to refer back to this video. You could actually just flip over the container and read through how to set it up. All right, so now we're ready to start talking about what's inside. This is the tray that holds the water. This platform sits right inside the tray and sits above the water level. This is a capillary mat, and this wicks water up from out of the tray right over the top. You'll notice that I can fold the edges in and just slip those in on the left and right. You'll want the capillary mat to be able to sit flat across that tray, so when you fold it, try to fold enough material underneath so that that capillary matting sits flat. Now, if you were to look inside each of these 16 sites, you'll notice that there's a little wafer that's made out of coco coir, and when you put water on this, it does expand into loose coco coir fiber, and it, believe it or not, absorbs enough water that each of these little sites will have enough coco coir to drop seeds into. That actually sits on top, and this sheet that they give to us allows us to document what's in each of the cells if we want to plant different varieties. A very good idea for somebody like me, because inevitably I'll turn it around and have to stop and think, what seed did I put where? Some of the other things that they have provided, one would be this little dibble which basically will make a little hole in the top of the loose cocoa core and allow that to be big enough to drop a seed into. And this plastic that they've provided is good for some seed varieties, because once you hydrate all these, they should be okay, but some seeds require a little bit of extra moisture content inside to get the seeds to germinate, and this keeps that moisture inside there. It traps any moisture that might perhaps condensate up, and it goes back down in, and creates an extra moist environment for those particular seed varieties. So once again, this is the Burpee product. It's the eco-friendly self-watering seed starting system, the 16XL cell, and it should be available in most stores or on Burpee's website.